The authority chief executive ACE of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA), Engineer Saidu Aliyu Mohammed, assumed office on December 23, 2025, and from the very first day, he made his intentions clear.
And if you are not careful, you just get engulfed in paperwork and forget that you need to touch with the base with the reality. And the reality is out there in the field. So that's why we just chose, let me just punctuate this paperwork by visiting one of the most crucial and critical sectors that we have, and that's the south-south sector of the nation. We chose that deliberately, of course, because we know that that is the home of the hydrocarbons.
Determined to move beyond policy documents and office routines, the ACE embarked on his first official facility tour of companies within the South-South region under the regulatory oversight of the authority. This was no routine courtesy visit. The tour was a strategic engagement recognizing the South-South as Nigeria's hub for midstream and downstream petroleum infrastructure, home to the nation's most critical processing, storage and distribution facilities. The region plays a pivotal role in Nigeria's energy value chain.
We are on the right track. We may be slow in some instances, but then I think we are on the right track.
Over the course of 3 days, Engineer Mohammed visited key players across the midstream and downstream sectors. He was accompanied by the Executive Director, Hydrocarbon Processing Plants, Installations and Transportation Infrastructure, Mr. Francis Ogari, alongside other senior officials of the NMDPRA. The objective was clear: to strengthen collaboration and build partnerships that will enable private sector growth while reinforcing effective regulation. The tour began at one of Nigeria's oldest and most established petrochemical companies, Indorama Petrochemical and Fertilizer Limited, LME. The ACE and his delegation were received by the Indorama management team led by its Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Munish Jindal.
Our own engineer, Mr. Saidu, was part of that journey with the LME Petrochemicals being set up. He facilitated the very raw material, which was at the heart and very, very critical for conceptualizing and actualizing the LME Petrochemicals, which was constructed in the 90s, and it was one of the best assets at that time. Constructed with best of the technologies, best of the engineering specifications, and from the best of the EPC contractors and engineering companies across the world.
My association with this was way back when we were having the concept of the entire element petrochemicals. And I was a very young engineer then who was saddled with the responsibility of looking for feedstock. So really, for me, coming here to see a physical plant many years later, in a different capacity, of course, gives me joy.
The next stop was Stock Gap Fuels Limited, a Nigerian downstream oil and gas company specializing in the bulk purchase and storage and distribution of petroleum products, PMS, AGO, DPK, as well as LPG. The company's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Stanley Ibe, led the ACE and his team through strategic sections of the facility, highlighting the company's growth, milestones, and contributions to Nigeria's energy supply chain.
Here, I used to tell people that here is can be considered a national strategic reserve because of the capacity we have installed here. Before Dangote, if you bring 40,000 metric tons here, in less than 1 week we'll truck it out, because we have 16 loading arms for PMS alone, and they're all working. Unlike other depots, you go, if they have 16, only 4 or 5 or 6 is working. I sit here every day. So I make sure that if you have 16 is working. We have 4 loading arms for AGO. We have 4 for DPK. We've been out of that 4, 2 can be used for aviation carrier because we installed micro filters. So on the other side, we have bitumen tanks which we're completing. We have fuel oil. Each one is 14 million liters. And the biggest of all is our LPG infrastructure. Here we have, we started with 2 tanks, butane tanks. We added the third one. That is, each one is 4,000. The third one is 4,000. That's 12,000. Then we have just commissioned the first propane tank, 4,000. So that takes us to a total of 17,000 metric tons.
Our energy demand had grown, and we need to penetrate. And you cannot penetrate with government companies. You can only penetrate with the private sector. And investment would be required, money would be required. And then at the end of the day, you need the policy makers that are friendly to the investors. And that is what we want to make sure we have. We want to establish authorities that are not authoritative, but authorities that are friendly and that are partnering with the private sector to make sure that where the aspirations of government, where we drive it.
Art Matrix Petrochemical Limited, an indigenous provider of chemical solutions to Nigeria's petroleum sector. The delegation toured the chemical treatment facilities, laboratories and production plants, where a range of lubricant and chemical products are developed to support industry operations.
We have a range of products, including lube oils, that's lubricating oil, and conventional greases, and then thread compounds and specialty greases. So these are 3 sets of our lubricant business area.
The tour also took the team to Central Horizon Gas Company, a subsidiary of Axela Group of Companies. Here, the A's witnessed firsthand the LPG production processes and infrastructure supporting the growing domestic gas market.
We have today well over 18 kilometers of pipeline across in Port Harcourt here, and it traverses around the area of Reclamation Road and NMDPRA, road. We plan to expand, our presence in Port Harcourt and beyond, and work is currently ongoing to ensure that we achieve that expansion in the spirit of Decade of Gas, initiated by the federal, government.
At Ogbele, on the outskirts of Port Harcourt, the delegation visited Aradel Energy Company, one of Nigeria's leading private refineries and tank farm operators. Commissioned in 2010, the Aradel refinery began operations with an installed capacity of 1,000 barrels per day. Through successive expansions and the addition of 2 processing trains, the refinery's capacity has grown up to 11,000 barrels per day, reinforcing the role of private investment in Nigeria's refining landscape.
As operators, we are not overwhelmed. We see the demand, we see the market, and all we're trying to do is to continue to make those investments that allow us to meet the demand. And the demand is very huge. And we've received support from the regulator. We've received all kinds of support that continues to make our operations grow from one scale to the other. It's a great and a worthy space for fellow investors and operators to come into, and the more we are, the more we build on the redundancy and the resilience of our energy security as a nation.
At every facility visited, the A's held closed-door engagements with company executives and industry stakeholders. These sessions focused on identifying regulatory and operational challenges and exploring practical pathways for resolving them with existing frameworks.
The Indorama that we went to, they are talking about some of the provisions of the PIA, which are there but then really don't really apply to them. Can we see how we can do to make sure that yes, those things are removed from the midstream, so to say? And I was also talking about specifically in abandonment issues and many other things. But then if you look at the lube oil plant that we went to, their own challenges are entirely different. And what is it? It is in the terms of how can we control all those unregistered and unadulterated engine oils that are being sold all over. If you look at Aradel, their own is peculiar. How can we assure them feedstock of crude oil? Here they are producing about, having a plant of about 11,000 barrels per day, but they could not get up to 6. They need to get more crude oil from somewhere. So those kind of feedstock challenges are what is peculiar to Aradel. So really wide range, but then what we have taken home really is, as a regulator, is we have taken note of all those things, and we can see how we can facilitate. How can we come back and review the provisions of the PIA and see how we can make those businesses smoother. Our own duty is to make them happen, not to deter them from happening. And since they are running and they have challenges, we are there to unblock those challenges.
Industry players welcomed the engagements, expressing renewed confidence that their concerns were being acknowledged and that a collaborative relationship with the authority was taking shape, one with long-term benefits for Nigeria.
This is the biggest encouragement that we can get as operator.
We thank the authority for the understanding they have developed over these years for the midstream industry. That has been very, very important. The authority has been dealing with oil and gas industry for all these years. In the beginning, when we came, it was a real challenge for us to make them understand a set of problems, how we operate, how we function, what is more critical for us. I think that understanding has evolved over the last 18 years. We're thankful to the authority for that. But yes, we fully appreciative of the new regulators, and we fully support that.
The tour concluded with a hybrid town hall meeting with NMDPRA staff in the South-South region. The gathering brought together workers from across the region, offering them a platform to share candid reflections on the organization's processes, what works, what doesn't, and how they can be improved. They spoke openly about their hopes and their collective vision for the organization's future. It was a rare one-on-one engagement, free of formality and pretense, marked by honest conversations. Bold ideas and a shared commitment to better days ahead. Adding color and cultural depth to the experience, the meeting was enlivened by vibrant traditional dances from River State, celebrating heritage alongside progress. The session underscored the ACE's commitment not only to industry growth and regulatory efficiency, but also to the welfare and motivation of the professionals tasked with safeguarding the sector. It also served as a platform to build trust, strengthen internal relationship, and align the authority's workforce with its renewed vision.
Today they are an empire that is not going to side anybody. It's an empire that is going to be fair to everyone, an empire that will allow things to move the way they are designed to move. And we need to be all come together. Collaboration is the key. And that is what I expect from everybody.
The job may have just started, but the ACE, alongside his NMDPRA team, seems set for the task.